Hello, my name is Young, and today we're going to talk about grapheme. Let's start. I'm going to use PowerPoint and I'll use my digital whiteboard. Grapheme. Good. So if you look at here, I have my topic on my PowerPoint presentation. Grapheme. Now the first thing we're going to look at is what is a grapheme? What is a grapheme? So a grapheme is just a symbol or letter. Sometimes it's combination of symbols and letters. So I want to split the definition so that we can be clear with that. A grapheme is a letter or symbol that represents a sound in a word. That represents a sound in a word. Then also, I can also say that grapheme is a combination of symbols and letters that represents sound in a word. So what is a grapheme? We just explained. So if you look at the screen, a grapheme is a symbol, letter, or a combination of symbols, letters that represent a sound in a word. Then another very important, this is a summarized version. A grapheme is a way of writing down a phoneme. A grapheme is a way of writing down a phoneme. And what is a phoneme? A phoneme is a sound. Let me explain more details so that you'll be able to get the scope of everything. Let me use my whiteboard. So if you look at the whiteboard, I'm going to write a word so that we can deduce what is a grapheme and what is a phoneme. Now, I'm going to say the word mat, mat, at, 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 mat. So I'm going to write it here. M-A-T. So how did I spell the sound that I heard? I spelled it M-A-T. This one that you see here is what we call grapheme. So this, remember, this is not a sound. It's just a letter that I use to represent the sound. So if I want to pronounce this one, I'm not going to say at, no, it's mat. So it means mat. But if you look at the letters, the names of the letters are M-A-T. So why don't we say M-H? No, but we use the sound. But I did not use the letters to represent the sound actually. Because this sound is this is R, and this is T. If I want to write a sound for R, this is not how it should be written. So R is written this way. So this is R. So this is called phoneme and this is called grapheme. But if I want to make a sound, then it means that, let me go over one more time. M-A-T. So this is a grapheme. If I want to make a sound, it means I have to represent the individual letter by sound. And how do I do that? I have to use the slash. This is M. So the difference between this and that is the terminology. So this is grapheme and this is phoneme. So now the M has been changed to a sound. Once the M is changed into a sound, it's called phoneme. And I can also convert, if I can reverse this one, this same action. So if I reverse the sound here into spelling, it's called grapheme. So grapheme actually is a spelling of a word. Let's put it that way so that it will be easier for you. It's a spelling of a word. So if I want to spell a word mat, I'm going to write M-A-T, and that is a grapheme. But if I want to write the phonemes, I can't write MAT, but I have to represent with sound. So phonemes are sound, graphemes are spellings of a word. And if I want to use the A, I'm going to write the A and make it a sound. So this line that you see here, the slash that you see here, is what make it a sound. If I want to write a T also, I have to make it a sound. So these are what we call phonemes. So one phoneme, two phonemes, three phonemes, one grapheme, two grapheme, three graphemes. So grapheme phonemes. Let's move on. I hope you understand very well. So grapheme is a way of writing down a phoneme. It's a way of writing down a phoneme. So when I say math, I heard it, it was a sound. So I have to change the sound into what? Writing. And that's what I use a graphic representation, MAT. And that becomes a grapheme. A grapheme is a spelling of a sound in a word. So I heard a sound and I spelled it. That's why I said the top one is a grapheme. The symbols are grapheme. So a grapheme is a spelling of a sound in a word. The word grapheme comes from Greek word. So Greek word graphema means letter. Let's look at the function. What does grapheme do? Let's look at the function. What does grapheme do? Grapheme spells sounds in words in order to identify them. We cannot just identify the grapheme, but how do we identify them? We need to break up the word into its sounds called phonemes. So you have to, so if I write, let me go over again so that you can understand what we are saying here. If I write, I'm going over. If I write M-A-T as my first example, math. So I cannot identify the grapheme here. Why? Because these words are in combination. They are together. This is a joint letter. When you join letters together, we call blending. So when you blend them together, it forms a word. And this word is called CVC. Consonant, vowel, consonant. Consonant, vowel, consonant. CVC. CVC. But if I want to identify the grapheme, then I need to pick up the individual sound, which is M. So 1, then A, 2, then T, 3. But if you look at the top one, if you ask me how many grapheme, I cannot tell you because it's not easy to tell. I have to break these joint letters, math, into individual sound. So now I have M-A-T. So if you ask me how many grapheme from here, I can just tell you 1, 2, 3. 3 graphemes. Let's go over to our PowerPoint, then we can continue. We can progress in our lesson. So graphemes spell sounds in words in order to identify them. Before you can identify that, we need to break up the word into its sound called phonemes. Breaking up the word in this way is called segmenting. Segmenting. So the segmenting is a process, the procedure, the steps that involve in breaking up the words into its sounds, its unit of sound, so that we'll be able to identify the graphemes in them. So we're going to talk about this as a whole lesson, segmenting. Segmenting is very, very important. Let's look at examples. So I gave example as math. And I already done the demonstration, so let's just move on. The word math has 3 sounds. So the word math has 3 sounds. There's no E, forgive me for that. No E. It's missing 3 sounds, which are spelled by 3 letters. So this is very, very important. Sometimes the number may not correspond. The number may not correspond. I'll give you some example as we move on. You know, the when I wrote the maths on the digital whiteboard, we saw that we had three letters MAT. And when we break them into their sound, we still got the three letters MAT. So this time they corresponded. But I will be giving you some examples which do not correspond. So the word math has three sounds which are spelled by three letters. Each grapheme is one letter grapheme. Let me go over. So if you look at the digital board, this one is a 1 unit grapheme, 1 unit grapheme, 1 unit grapheme. So we're going to have 3 units of grapheme. So 3 units. Let's continue. A complex phonic code. A complex phonic code. This is very, very important. So English is a code. In order to read or decipher a word, you have to break the code. So if you don't know how to break the code, it means you cannot read a word. So let's move on. The problem is that English has a complex phonic code. Graphemes can consist of 1 to 4 letters. So grapheme can consist of 1 to 4 letters. Let's look at this in our digital board. This is very, very important. It's very, very important. You need to pay attention to this. So if I write a word like, look at this. If I write a word like bike, you know, it has I here. So this time, the I has 1 unit of sound, which make this one 1 unit. So bike. But what I am concerned here is the vowel I, which is a long vowel I. So b, I, k, bike. And this, remember, is C, V, C, E, which we call the silence E, or the magic E, or the evil E, or the voiceless E. So this is very, very important. You know, here in the word like bike, if I want to get the sound, the vowel sound, and this, remember, it doesn't make a sound, so we don't consider it. I have the I. This become I, or just this is I. But if I have a word like night, so we call this one 1 unit of. So we said that a phoneme, a grapheme can be made up of 1 unit to 4 units. Let's look at this. So this is a 1 unit grapheme. Let's look at a 3 unit grapheme. So if you look at the word night, if I take the I, it's going to consist of IGH. So IGH. The whole of this is I, which is the same as the I, single unit I here. 3 letters I, 3 letter I, and 1 letter I. So this is 1 unit of sound. This is also 1 unit of sound, but it consists of 3 letters. This is what makes English complex, difficult, sophisticated. And so we need to understand the concept so that we'll be able to decode the sound. Let's go over to our presentation. So I'll read one more time. The problem is that English has a complex phonics code. Graphemes can consist of 1 to 4 letters. This makes it difficult language to learn. Not only to learn. English is not difficult in learning it, not just learning it, but reading and also to spell a word is very difficult. If you don't pay attention to this concept in English, grapheme, phonemes, segmenting, digraph, diphthongs, and those terminologies, if you don't pay attention to them, you find it difficult to decode sound from a word. Let's move on. So this is why English is difficult to learn, to read, to study, and to spell a word. Grapheme with two letters. Let's look at grapheme with two letters. So it means that two letters are going to be together to form a unit of sound, but they are actually three letters. So we have a word like shop. Let's go to our digital board. Shop. A word like shop. Shop. This will be my last presentation. I will do the part 2 because of our time. Shop. So if I write a word like shop, remember this is a spelling of a word, so we call this grapheme. But I cannot identify the letters. I cannot identify how many grapheme do I have. So this one, if I ask a student how many grapheme do we have, that student will say 1, 2, 3, 4. So definitely we say 4 grapheme, but it's wrong. This is what makes English very difficult. Grapheme are not just the letters that are represented in the spelling, but we said earlier that to identify the grapheme, we need to break up the sound. So let's break up the sound. In breaking up, this SH is going to form one sound. So I'm going to write it here. One sound. And the O will also be one sound. And the P will be one sound. Two things I'm going to emphasize here. Number one, this SH is a 2-letter grapheme, but it's considered as a unit of sound. It's very important. 2-letter grapheme, but considered as a unit of sound. So if I ask you now, can you tell me how many sounds are there in shop? How many grapheme can we identify? We can identify 1 grapheme, 2 graphemes, 3 grapheme. So instead of 4, we now realize that it's actually 3 graphemes. So that's why I told you that the number of sound does not correspond to the number of letters in the spelt word. The word that we spelled S-H-O-P. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 letters by 3 phonemes. 3 sounds. So our phonemes are going to be 1, 2, 3. So 3 phonemes. This is very important. So to know the number of grapheme, we need to know the number of letters and the number of phonemes so that we'll be able to identify the grapheme. That's what we said from the beginning. So this is a 2-letter grapheme, SH, 2-letter grapheme. Though they have their individual sound, S, H, but we cannot say this is but it forms a single sound called sh. And in IPA, it is represented by the snake-like shape. So in IPA, this is sh, but in grapheme is SH. 2-letter grapheme. We'll end here and do the part 2. Thank you very much. Bye.